The graph for Nifty today was absolutely boring. 2.35% for the day. Bank Nifty, at least there was something moving around, a bit of up and down movement in some banks. Now, one very interesting element of this, which could have been in play, next week's expiry is the monthly expiry, and all stock related options. If you don't settle them by today, then on Monday you will need to keep margin in your account to take delivery. Otherwise, first thing in the morning around 9:15, you will get an alert from your broker. They may square off your position at market rates. So if a lot of shorts were there in the market today, in the FNO market, then it was compulsory to close them today. Now, one barometer test for me for trading as well as monitoring the market has become this set of alerts. If you see my updates regularly, you would have seen me talk about all of these 4 shares hitting new highs nearly every day. Do we buy them? No, too scared. And they keep going up. And there are stocks which are hitting regularly 52-week lows. Many of them are fundamentally not so good stocks or weak stocks right now. But some of them are having cyclical issues, which could be temporary. Are there good opportunities for long-term investors who keep, in any case, looking for gems, keep asking for ideas for long-term? And in the Nugget section, I'll talk about something which is a similar topic to me, buying smaller banks. Is there enough value? What parameters I usually check? Am I investing in some of them? This is the new look dashboard. In the end, only one stock was red, Bajaj Auto in Nifty 50. HCL Tech is the stock which made a new high. TCS, Reliance, SBI, Infosys and Airtel, they were taking Nifty up. What was trying to take Nifty down? Actually, there's only one red. Remaining were the least green. Bajaj Auto, Hero Motor, SBI Life, Hindalco and Axis Bank. The reds, nothing, minuscule. The volumes in this zone are not very high. Look at the volumes in the companies that were going up a lot. This is next 50. This also is lot better than yesterday. What is not very different is the Adani pack at the bottom. Info Edge was upmost, followed by PFC, DLF, PNB and LTI Mindtree. Bottom tier was reserved for Adani pack to a large extent. Varun Beverages was at the bottom as well today. JSW Energy down as well. Software was the best performer today, followed by oil and gas, banking, all 3 heavyweights. Now Adani Enterprises is really at the bottom right now, diversified industrial goods. The damage is so much, minus 222%. The investors, if they are stuck in this stock, they will need the stock to go up a lot. They have to reach this zone to break free, break even. Same with transport infrastructure, which is Adani Ports. Nifty's performance today can be termed as super. The volumes were good. The bars were really big. 2%, 3% for large companies. Everyone was partying. Today, Airtel was also up. Look at the trend of Airtel. Look at the trend of Nifty. That broke. Reliance up. TCS. Infosys. At least TCS and Infosys were showing green trend already. ITC, HUL, SBI, all laggards were up. Now tell you what, Bank Nifty's bars look similar, but they are not that big. SBI was the outlier because that had to recover the damage from yesterday. See SBI plus 31% only, not that much recovery. In fact, some of these banks like Axis, Kotak, they spent some time below the line also. See HDFC Bank. In fact, if you see in private sector banks, there were some reds also. Even today, Federal Bank, there was some profit booking because people had money on the table. Ujjivan Small Finance on a day like today also hit a low. Investing pack, there were selective winners today. Motilal Oswal came back 3%. ICI Securities was up. KFin Tech, where I sold a large stake yesterday, that was up a lot, 3.5%. Very few and small reds. Today I have a new dashboard for insurance. It is not a fantastic pack for investing. The PEs are pretty high. Hardly any dividend yield. In fact, the operating margins are among the weakest in this particular segment. NBFCs were back today. PFC 5.4%, REC 3%. The complete red sector saw some buying. Microfinance. Fusion Finance has been going up a bit. Upper circuit today also. I'm now feeling a little scared in IT, though I know it is defensive sector and it will probably not fall much even if the markets do fall. But the gains are getting scary now. TCS 4.2%, Infosys 3.7%. The only euphoria I see in this pack is INR getting weaker. As a result, 1 or 2% gets added to the bottom line automatically without doing anything. On days when Ola Electric is up, you can assume that auto is doing really well. See here, Ola Electric came all prepared to go down today also. It was suddenly reminded that today is up day. When auto is green, auto ancillary will be better only. Metals all good. Adani Enterprises that recovered. However, still a new low for the very large company. Nalco made another high. Look at the volumes of Adani Enterprises. These are the average volumes. Plus 535%. Reliance was up 3.5%. Not a single red in the entire oil and gas sector. The sector was up 2.9%. Today the best gainer was MRPL. Look at IOC. 11.5% dividend yield. Power pack still had issues because most of the impacted Adani companies are in this pack. See here, these three companies were down. Adani Green, Adani Power, Adani Energy especially. That hit a new low. See the volumes of Adani Energy? Plus 323%. Similar volumes for Adani Power as well, plus 300% nearly. The biggest volumes perhaps were in Adani Green, literally 11x or 12x of normal volumes. Edible consumption was good today, led by the big boy ITC, up 4%. The other companies Nestle, Dabur, Britannia, Godrej, Tata Consumer all came back, good short covering. Non-edible pack, the greens were there, however new lows were hit very early in the day. Asian Paints, DMart, all these stocks have corrected a lot. This is a dashboard for Adani Group and the impacted companies. All of them were green today. Very high volumes for the entire pack. These are happy numbers today. Nifty 2.4%, Bank Nifty 1.5%. This is the smallest gainer today in sectors. Nifty IT 3.29%, Energy 2%, Next 50 also, Auto a shy short of 2%, and today also FIIs continue to sell. Around 1 or 2 o'clock, I had a lurking suspicion that FIIs may be the reason behind today's rally. It turned out it wasn't. Now this is where we are a little slow as a country and BSE is a private company. 43 stocks listed out for FNO, including 3 Adani companies. If there is a charge, that too from the highest authority in the US, don't include them for now. Put them on hold, do it after a month, 2 months when the charges are cleared. Now there was a big sell-off in China today. Markets were down about 3.5%. China is not the right place to be for FIIs. They will be back to India. They probably need the markets lot lower to enter back. Whenever they come back 2 or 3 days, there will be ferocious buying. And I can tell you, they will ensure that they get the right prices via FNO. The data that I was worried about, and I have talked about it a lot, finally there is acknowledgement that there is a dip in home sales. The comedy part for me was that the average ticket size or home price, average one, that has increased 23% to 1.23 crores. What is the inflation in the country? This is the increase in 1 year of the costliest item that you will buy in your life ever. BSE, Sun Pharma, oil is for trading, IOCL, BPCL, NTPC. I've increased my stake right now. I'll probably keep it for long term, but my long term has become short these days. I bought back Trent, I added more of Titan, Asian Paints. I'll talk about Ujjivan and South Indian Bank, which I bought today in the Nugget section today. I bought 1000 quantity of Satin and 1 unit of Spandana, trading strictly. Now many of you might be wondering that Reliance, which I sold yesterday, that was up a lot. KFin Technologies, which I sold yesterday, that was up a lot. Both of them roughly 3 to 4%. So there was a loss and the decision was wrong. See, PFC, which I bought a lot, and I bought around 2200 quantity yesterday. That was up 5%, much more than both of these gains. And once the decision is taken, it is taken. There is no looking back. This is the overall dashboard. Sea of reds. South Indian Bank is the lowest. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, I have traded a lot in this bank in the past. Right now, South Indian Bank is trading at a PE of 4.23. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank at 5.4. See here, even J&K Bank around 5, Karnataka Bank around 5.5. Not very expensive, but these banks are cheap for a reason. They will never get back to the sector PE, say of 18, not even probably 10, 11. Now, South Indian Bank, this is the annual performance. This is where it shot up around 38 rupees and then it has come down 22.5 approximately. Always traded below the RSI level of 65, which I used as an indicator. And right now it is hovering at the lower side, which is 35. Slightly in the oversold zone, but not terribly oversold. The EPS was rotten around this time, cleanup plus pandemic. After that, the EPS has been going up steadily. Even last quarter, the EPS was higher only. PE has been going down. That is perhaps because stock price is stagnant and EPS is going up. This is the lowest probably for this stock in last 5-6 years. Next quarter, we had 12 here. That would perhaps be replaced by something like a 23-24 probably. TTM EPS should get lot better. This is the opportunity. Shareholding pattern FIIs is reduced. If I had not bought this stock in the past, I would have not bought it just because of this number. The DI stake have gone up. Public is going up because whatever FI is selling has been soaked up by public only. Quarterly results wise, if you see revenue 2184, 2275, 2314, 2355 going up only, no problem with revenue dip. The financing profit and all I'll get to in the balance sheet because the screener format is not that good for analyzing banks. Overall profit before tax 409, 435, 393, 395, 440. Healthy trend. Tax is fine. There is no one-time high or low tax. Net profit increased Q on Q, increased Y on Y. Gross NPA 4.96, 4.7, 4.5, 4.5, 4.4, reducing. Net NPA 1.76, 1.46, 1.44, 1.31, reducing. I don't see any problem. Operating profit 46, 55, 50. Trends are looking fine. This will never become an Axis Bank or HDFC Bank, but it is not dying. Next bank, Ujjivan Small Finance. Terrible price trend. Note this is a small finance bank. This is not a microfinance company. Right now in oversold zone. Oversold does not guarantee a recovery. The EPS was going fine, then it became steady. It has dipped in this particular quarter. The PE has been going down almost at the lowest point. This was the turbulent period where all the small banks were suffering. The prices are approximately in the same range, but the EPS here was negative. Here EPS is fine. Revenue trend is fine. The bank is growing. FII stakes 24 has gone down to 20. DIs also have reduced. Public has increased. Terrible trend for an investor. This also, if I had not bought in the past, I would have never bought the stock. It is a weak company in terms of the numbers. Revenues are fine, continuously going up. Financing profit is down here. That is because of the provisioning. We will talk about in the next sheet. See here, GNPA 2.35, 2.15, 2.23, 2.52, 2.52. There is a jump in the provisions. Net NPA also is higher, but these numbers are not that alarming. We have seen 8-9%. See here, 11, 9, 7, 6. This was a terrible period. This is a reasonable control. In fact, you will not see numbers which will ever be zero. See here, provisions other than tax and contingency 15. This is again in lakhs. 10, 5. Higher. Is it bad? Yes. Is it in control? Yes. How will this get cleaned up? See, we have seen worse times. Demon, for example. We have seen pandemic. We saw a down cycle which lasted nearly 1 or 2 years in general in business cycle. We have also seen an Aadhaar fiasco in between. So it is not that we are seeing a problem which has happened for the first time. In fact, right now the problem is consumption is low, inflation is reasonably high. A lot could be done to fix these things. Now note that once a customer, say in a small finance bank, say a shopkeeper has taken a business loan, they refuse to pay. They don't have money. What happens is their Aadhaar, PAN, against that an NPA is marked after 90 days of not paying their dues. After that, they will never be getting a loan ever in their life. So if they have to take a loan to resume their life, they'll have to find money from somewhere, go to the bank, pay it back. Customers return the loan if they wish to take more loans. Most of these people need working capital loans. They can't survive without it. The second case is NPA is written off. This is the massive cleanup which we saw happen over years where people had absolute no way of paying back. Their loans were written off. At times what also happens is certain NBFCs buy distressed portfolios. Say this is worth 1 lakh rupees, they will buy it for 20,000 rupees from the bank and say we'll attempt recovery, whatever profit loss will bear, you just take 20,000 and close out your provisioning. Like for example, Piramal Enterprises bought DHFL. Over time, after 6 months, 1 year, things will start looking better automatically. In any case, small finance banks have a higher margin. The loans are with a collateral. Around 18 to 24% is the interest rate typically for small finance bank. Microfinance has 25-26% kind of interest. So there is at least 1 to 2% margin here to absorb NPAs. Hope this style of analysis and investment was useful. This is not investment advice. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week.